got the new 1970 shirt on, and we're ready to talk about the newest anabolic that athletes are using. Where do you get a load of this?
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
And we're back for another exciting episode of After Hours with the Whack Pack. I'm Dave Palumbo, joined by the Pack. And we're missing John Romano again, who's still on vacation in Portugal, looking for the lost treasures of the Anunnaki. But he'll be back next week to tell us about that. What's up, guys?
Must be nice to be John, huh? What's it, a couple weeks now?
It's a long vacation, I know.
Yeah, wherever he's at, it's beautiful. I see the pictures on Facebook. He's eating some good food. He's enjoying his life.
But I've been watching these.
He's under witness protection somewhere, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he might be. I've been getting a lot of complaints about Greg's microphone. So if anyone wants to donate a microphone to Greg, you know, and send it to him,
well,
feel free.
For the guys who are complaining, right? Fucking here, you crybabies. Anyway, fuck them. I'm tired of crybabies, man.
I've been watching these. You know how Jimmy the Bull sends us these flat Earth Instagram posts? I don't know if you get it. He sends them to me all the time, like trying to prove flat Earth. I've been watching these ones where they talk about these Anunnaki. You know who the Anunnaki were?
Yeah, those from heaven to earth that came. Those.
Yeah, supposedly the Anunnaki were aliens who came here, and they
humanoid. They were humanoid. They looked like
humanoid,
us.
but what they did was they wanted to mine all the like gold and silver on the earth. They needed, and so they created. Yeah, well, they created a race of us. Basically, they took the apes that were there, or the humanoid-like creatures, and they put their own DNA into it, and they made an intelligent version of what was here already. And we were the workforce to mine them, and they became the gods, basically, like the Egyptian gods, the Roman gods. It's kind of the same pantheon, depending on what culture you're from. So
this is what's translated from all the tablets and all the the Egyptian hieroglyphs that are on the wall. This is what this says.
Right, like they're trying to say the Egyptians weren't really the Egyptians. In other words, the Anunnaki built all the pyramids and everything. The Egyptians just kind of moved into the empty houses when they left.
They imitated them, yeah.
So basically, all the religions that on this country were built on the idea that there were gods. Whether depending on what religion you believe in, but they, according to like these historians, they would say it was really these Anunnaki that were the gods. And that if there is a real God, there's a real God that created even the Anunnakis. But in other words, but we think on this, we worship the Anunnaki. That's at least a theory. I'm not saying whether it's right or not, because I don't know. But what do you think about that theory?
That they themselves were saying that they were going to be held accountable for what they did to us. So that's the story. That's what the story says it.
Right. So there would be a God above them, obviously.
There's a God above them, correct.
What do you guys think about that theory?
Sounds like bullshit.
Yeah. They did that documentary again. They've done it so many times throughout, like Lacy Peterson. I watched that again yesterday. It's so depressing. Just watching that whole thing over. And I watched it's a 3-part series. I watched it all yesterday, pretty much. And you forget kind of what happened and how cold that was. I guess him. You guys remember that Lacy Peterson trial?
You drastically changed the subject. We're talking about the
I know we were talking about shows. They just put it up on Netflix. It's a new one again. They've done it so many times. That would happen in 2002, and it's like when he murdered his wife, and I guess the theory was, he smothered her and then took her out to the lake and then dumped her body, and then the baby was like, I guess she was 8 months pregnant, and it's like funny. He's talking to prison, like, yeah, he's doing well because he got the death penalty. I guess they're like appealing it. You keep appealing it, you know how that works. And then he's just like, yeah, he's doing well. He lost over 100 pounds on a vegan diet. I'm like, wherever he's at, I didn't know how they do that. They cater to your nutrition.
No, I'll tell you what. I was in prison, and what they give it. They always have a vegan alternative there, and it's mostly because of some people it's religious. Like some people are Muslim. They don't eat certain meats, and they only eat kosher stuff. So there was always a vegan alternative. So in other words, at every meal you can get like textured soy. It was basically. It tasted like the stuffing you get on Thanksgiving, the pieces of breadcrumbs that are in there. That's what it tastes like.
Where he's at, like state versus federal, that's different, right? Like the food.
I don't know, but I know they always offer a vegetarian. I'll tell you something about the vegetarian alternative, though, and I'm sorry, but the lawn guys are in the background, but. If you eat that textured, because they don't give a lot of protein in prison, so I'm thinking, you know what? I'll eat the textured soy. It's better than the crap they're giving us, but that stuff will give you the worst gas you've ever. You think beans or broccoli cause gas? Textured soy protein will your ass. You could almost lift yourself off the ground from the gas you get from that stuff.
Well, that'll keep somebody from trying to plow that ass, right?
They make that ice cream, that vegan. My wife got a bunch of that vegan oat ice cream. It's gross. It's like that has just done more anything. I'm like, just get the regular ice cream, because since last week I put on 20 pounds. I've just been eating like burgers.
I'm going to show you a good ice cream. Hold on. I'm going to show you.
Haagen-Dazs is good ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, great ice cream I'd rather eat than any of that weird
Scott Peterson's full of shit.
That Halo crap is bad. Dave better not be pulling out that Halo. We're gonna bust on him if he is.
What, the Halo?
Hey, horrible, man. It's
Halo?
got that fake sugar in it that fucks your gut up.
Sorbitol.
Sorbitol, whatever.
Yeah,
mannitol. This was sent to me. I'm going to zoom in. Hold on. It's called Whoa Mama Protein Gelato. And it's, you wouldn't do this while you're dieting because it does have some sugar in it, but it has a lot of protein in it. It has
is it a bra on the front?
It's I don't know what it is. It's just some sunglasses.
Top or sunglasses? I can't tell.
Sunglasses. It looks like sunglasses.
Why don't I just eat like Haagen-Dazs or like,
it's got omega-3s in it. It's got
Ben and Jerry's.
51 grams of protein. It really tastes good.
You know what we do, Dave? We get A2 cream, and my son makes his own ice cream.
Well, you could get the Ninja Creamy. Machine.
That's great. That's great.
You could put the my Protolized pudding in there, and with like even some like almond milk or something like that. I don't. Everyone has their own recipes, but it makes that Protolized into the greatest ice cream. People tell me they're like hooked.
That Protolized is amazing.
Does it taste different from your last protein? Because I haven't tried the new one. The last pudding you used to make years ago.
Yeah, well, I have the new pudding. It's the same. It's the same. It's just reformulated with probiotics. If you put the Protolized in there, I think I sent you some, Armand, didn't I?
No, I didn't get any.
You sent me some. I think it's
It's amazing.
Thanks.
Flavor too is even better, way better.
I think I sent you the isolized because you were dieting. That's why I sent.
Yeah, I got the Firelize, the macadamia oil,
Arthrize. The Protolized is thicker. You put that in the Ninja Creamy, and it makes ice cream out of it. And it's people.
Hey, Dave, let me say something real quick. I don't promote products, but I want people to know this. Dave's Mac oil is really, really better than any other Mac oil. I've tried every Mac oil out there. Some of them are light. They don't got a flavor. This is butter, and it's great to cook in. So don't cook in olive oil or stuff that's good, that's bad for you. If you're going to cook in stuff, you need to use something like coconut oil.
Well, Dave was at my house. Like, we got this from the grocery store, and it's like it came in a plastic black one. And it actually smells like perfume and tastes like perfume. I guess I don't know. I think I let Dave smell it. It was horrible.
They add some scents to it, smells.
You know what it is? What people don't realize is you should never buy oils in plastic because plastic is fat soluble, and if you have fats in the plastic, it actually leaches the plastics into the oil. That's why you can put water in plastic because water and plastic don't really mix, but you can't put oil in plastic, and so that's a mistake. So we use
water is bad if it's heated. You don't want hot water bottles.
Yeah.
That's
right. But I'm just saying, you believe me, it would be way cheaper for me to put the Mac oil into a plastic bottle. It's lighter. Number one, they don't break, but it's like a disaster, for your health to do that. Anyway,
I have a bad habit with the water bottles. I'll leave in the car and then go to the gym.
I do the same thing.
I mean,
what the truth is?
What are we gonna do?
You have to figure out how you're gonna live your life. Because the new thing is now sushi has parasites. I like sushi.
The mercury.
I like it. You know what I mean? I don't eat. I can't eliminate everything from my diet. I'm not gonna walk around and eat nothing because that's really what there's nothing to taste.
Sushi, and you will be walking around eating nothing because your feet.
I tell you, can't even. That's why I'm so lean. I don't absorb my food.
I was eating that sashimi when I was dieting, for the 3 weeks and from this place on the street, and it tasted really good. But I went to this girl I used to see this past week. She does colonics. I haven't seen her in years, and she was trying to say, you can kind of see it in the tube. I don't know if you guys have done any colonics, but she's like, she'll stay in there and check. You go, you saw a parasite go through, and she's like, oh yeah. I told her I was eating sashimi. She's like, yeah. I was like, I didn't see it, but you know how they say it. But I had a lot of stomach issues, But I went from eating 3 times a day, eating those crunch bars, which I still can't find, Dave. Those crunch bars, the protein ones here that we had in Mexico.
Yeah.
I can't find the protein ones here.
There's a company called Power Crunch, and you can see their bars are all over the place, but they taste like the old wafer cookies, and they're 10 grams. They're 10 grams of carbs only, but they're 15 grams of protein. But they have a high protein one, which is harder to find. It's like I think they call it protein enhanced or something like that. It's also the same 10 grams of carbs, but they're like 20 grams of protein per bar, and they're really good.
Where do you get yours at? We said Walmart, or
I think if you go to Target online, you can get the high protein ones, or either that or Walmart online. It's a lot of times in the store they don't have them, but you can it's easier to find them online. It's either Target or Walmart. I can't remember which one because I go back and forth. But I can buy Quest cookies at one place, and I buy the Power Crunch bars. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't eat them when I'm dieting, but if you're not dieting and you don't have time to eat, they're delicious. The only problem is that they're messy, so I keep them in the freezer, believe it or not. And when they're frozen, they taste way better. Imagine putting a wafer cookie in the freezer. It's almost like an ice cream sandwich, because otherwise they melt. They'll melt and they'll get really gooey almost.
Yeah.
Because it's a wafer cookie.
Yeah, I found online.
To me, it's the best tasting protein bar on the market right now, and it got good macros. It doesn't have a ton of sugar or carbs in it.
Do you remember those bars? I think John Meadows. He was involved with them or whatever. They had the thick ones. You had to refrigerate them. Those are really, really good. They had the nuts and all of that. Oh,
there's a couple companies out there who produce certain bars that they're layered bars. I think that might be what you're talking about, where they have 5 layers to them. I think Redcon has one. There's a few different companies that use the same manufacturer, because I know I went and investigated, and they taste really good the first couple bites, and they have a nice mouthfeel. But there's a lot of artificial or weird sugar alcohol stuff in there, and it gets a little annoying.
This one didn't have that, but you had to refrigerate it and eat it within the first couple weeks, or it'd start to kind of mildew or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same bar, but these bars they preserve better. But there's a lot of bars that just they get a little obnoxiously sweet, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't like super crazy sweet bars that have an artificially sweet taste to them, if that makes sense.
Have you guys tried the legendary pastries?
Oops, sorry.
The legendary pasties are really good, yeah, because I'm friends with Ron, who owns that company.
And if you freeze them, they're even better.
Yeah, you know what? Or you put them in the microwave; they're really good too.
Either way.
You ever heat them up? Have you heated
Yeah,
them
but
up?
I like them cold.
Yeah.
That'd be something if you make your ice cream with the protein powder and then you put that on that'd be a really nice protein packed dessert.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's good. That's pretty interesting. That's a good idea. Yeah, I heard Frank Zeppe's got a good bar too. I haven't tried his bars yet, but I heard that they're good.
Remember American Bodybuilder Steel Bar? That fucking thing was too good to be true. It was fucking huge too.
That was heavy.
Yeah, but that's one of the bars I'm talking about. Like you eat the first half of it, it's delicious, and then it gets a little nauseating after a while. It's like too much almost. It was like too much in it, you know.
Yeah, but like, it was real candy. I don't even think there was any protein.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they were really like a lot of sugar in it. But have you noticed though recently? You remember in the '90s, weight gainers were a big deal.
Yes.
Like they started out like 500 grams,
Twin Lab
calories, then they went to 1,000 calories, and then went 2,000 calories. What? You notice there's no weight gainers on the market? No one buys weight gainers anymore.
There's Muscle Milk Gainer one I was using like a couple years ago. It had like 110 grams of carbs, like a bunch of fat, and like 30 protein. And I was using those for a while, and I mean, I would get so distended on them, and it made me so bloated and puffy. But,
there's a lot of crappy macros in there. That's why.
Gainer's Fuel. Remember
Gainer's Fuel, Twin Lab Gainer's Fuel. I love that shit. That helped me get big when I was a teenager.
Yeah. I used Perfect. Remember Perfect 1100? They had also that product. I don't know who made that.
Champion made a good one. Champion Ultimate Weight Gainer. I think it was the 1200 one.
Yeah.
A big scoop where you put like 2 huge scoops in.
I would mix it with
that Mega Mass 2000.
Yeah, and Weeder came out with the one in the dog bag. Remember the dog food bag?
Oh, yeah. It was a cement. It was a spackle bucket.
Yeah,
and then
they still make the bags. I think
it was a whole cup scoop.
Remember, you get a video with Weeder's weight, and the fucking scoop was like what your mother used to use to scoop out the detergent when you know.
Yes.
You know what the scoop was? The scoop was an actual measuring cup. Yeah. It was like a full-size measuring cup.
Yeah.
You know, I got the Botox like before the show or whatever. Like I get it usually every 6 months. I'll get shut my jaw for my TMJ, and then my eye where my eye like was droopy a little bit, and it's still like that. And I messaged the office a few times, and there's a script out there of eye drops that can like open the eye for like 6 hours during the day, but they don't have it anywhere. And like they're like, okay, well, we called in here, they can't get it. They called in here, they can't get it. I'm like, okay, there's a script and there's a medication for it, but because it's never happened to me. But I think because I got it while I was doing that like extreme 3-week prep diet, and you know, something with my metabolism or whatever, and it caused that like the little droop, and my eyes like a little double vision from it, but it's just probably going to take a couple months just to wear off. Kind of like, I don't know. I know, Dave, you do Botox, right? I know John does, but
I don't do it regularly, but I did it like a couple months back, and I never had gotten it around my eyes. And you know what? I got a little droop too, and I noticed that I almost had my bag got worse on this, but my metabolism ate that shit up so fast that after about a month and a half, it was gone. So
it was the first time I got it.
Never do my eyes again. Never.
He has to be more concentrated on mine. Because I know John, like he is like a lot of times if you lift up, you'll get that like, you know, arch right there.
Arch eyebrow too. It happened to me too.
Yeah. But I don't like that. But
my suggestion is just keep it in the forehead area and don't go around the eyes.
I usually get it and it's never a problem. Like my metabolism was sped up and I got it. And then a week after it, I started noticing it a little bit. I was like, okay.
You don't even have wrinkles on your eyes though.
No, because when I was 30, he was like, you should start doing preventative Botox, like, you know, my forehead, there's no wrinkles. And
forehead is fine, but you don't want to do your eyes. I'm telling you, don't touch your eyes. I was a big mistake doing my eyes.
Yeah.
Greg, let me see your eyes. Take off your glasses.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's Fester. It's Uncle Fester.
Greg, you really don't have a lot of wrinkles at all for your age. You're very.
There's no Botox. This is 100% natural.
No, I know it is. That's what I'm saying. You have good skin.
And this is 64, motherfuckers.
I know.
Did you get that SMP2, Greg?
What's that SMP2? I don't even know.
Scalp micropigmentation.
No, I don't even know what that is.
They like tattoo the little hair, you know, little
Armand, he doesn't even have a phone that can connect to the internet. You think he has microthermal?
Can you grow your hair out, Greg?
Yes, but it gets like fun, like a cotton. It's whisker.
I did the micro a while, but I was doing it. I shaved my head the first time to do it, and then after I had to do it like 10 times total, and it was so.
Yeah,
so
mine hasn't stay.
I have a friend that had that done, and he said he would never do it again because it's too obvious. Now,
well, he did mine a little too much in a couple spots. It's a little, but I'm still going to Turkey in November to do that free hair transplant. They're flying me and my wife out there for free, and
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, back it up. You're getting a free hair transplant from where?
Yeah. I just have to post on Instagram. It was funny because it was the 3 of the 5 companies. I have to look up which one it is that I wanted to use, because I know the one Chris Bumstead used, and the other one they kind of do the hairline a little odd. It's kind of a little
it's like a
because they what they usually want to raise your forehead, which I can't do now until the Botox wears off, and then kind of with your hairline they can bring it down like a little bit.
But what do they want to do to your hairline?
Just bring it down like a notch, like yeah. And then
why can't you do that?
They showed me what they could do.
Why can't you do that with the Botox?
Well, they want you to raise your forehead like up, like your eyebrows, and see like kind of where the line stops. And plastic surgeons here that I had consults with, like over the past 10 years, like, oh, you're not a good candidate. You're not a good candidate. But then everybody I know that's went to Turkey, they do a great job. And it's only like at the best places, it's anywhere from like $2,000 to $4,000 for the transplant. That usually includes the hotel, and then you just have to buy the plane ticket, which they're flying me out like, coach to Turkey. But I think I might can talk them into doing first class.
Going to Turkey, you're not doing it in Mexico. I thought some of the places from Turkey went to Mexico now.
But Turkey's still the best. You still want to go to Turkey.
No, what he was saying is that Turkey opened up some clinics in Mexico, the Turkish people.
Yeah.
Johnny Latz got the what do you call that shit? The flap surgery, where they cut all his shit out and then they pulled it together.
Who did that?
Johnny Latz. He's dead now.
That was what they did years ago. Yeah, back in the 90s.
Good though. When he was
doing a facelift.
No, they actually
they cut out the bald spot, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they come around it like this, and then they pull it together. They cut all his baldness. They cut it out and peel it together, and he looked good when it was done. I couldn't.
Rich Piana looked really good,
time, right?
What's that? What's that, Dave?
So it's like getting a facelift.
Yeah,
pulling your face up.
They would inject shit in his head and then make it into like. I mean, you can't go out in public, or you'd have to wear a hat because they would raise your scalp up like this high. But I don't know if it's like oil or silicone or some shit. And then they take it out so the skin is loose. So that, because they have to stretch the skin. And then they cut and then they pulled it together. I remember sitting in a diner with him, and he had a crew cut. His hair was short, like I got like whiskers. And then he's like, I'm like, holy fuck, because before that he was like skin bald. You know what I mean?
Right.
He looked good.
My friends that went to Turkey, it looks great. It looks amazing. I mean, they'll take a little bit from. I'm doing like about 4,000 grafts. They can take some from your beard. So under here, like I don't need this hair under here. Like they can
take some from back here, Armand.
No, they just do like.
I can't imagine though the beard hair would be good on your head. It seems like it would be a little too bristly, don't you think?
No, it doesn't grow the beard hair. It just stimulates the follicle, and then a regular hair will eventually grow there.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah. But they said they can take it from the beard, just probably about 500 grafts from there, and so it'll feel pretty much like in most of the front. And then if you want to, like in the back and the crown, will be a little bit. My crown's okay though, because that's scalp micropigmentation, but the crown, you can go back like in another year and kind of see how much more grafts you can do to fill in that. But I think just doing the front will be like a pretty dramatic change. And I just have to post, I think, 5 stories on my Instagram about it.
Right.
And, if even like 2 people go out there and pay, that covers, what I would do. And, they reached out to me because I think I was talking about it on TikTok or something. And they emailed me and they said, hey, we heard about, I don't know how they find it or whatever, but we heard, talking about, people want to Turkey and we have this to offer. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And then I planned to go earlier, but then I was like, okay, I'll go in November. The summer's too hot.
Right.
I'll probably go in November.
They asked me to go there about a year ago, and you know what? I just don't have enough. I had gotten the hair grafts done in 2000, and they used up a lot of my donor hair, so I just don't have enough donor hair. You know, but
because you did the cut where they just cut
it.
It
looks fine though. I mean,
well, yeah, but you want to make sure that you don't lose it all.
You don't have any reception anywhere. What's wrong with you? Put your head down. Let me see.
I have a little bit back here. It's thinning.
Yeah, maybe they could fill in the back a little bit. Yeah.
My barber went out there from Turkey. He went to Turkey, and the whole trip cost him only $2,000, and he was completely bald. And now he has a full head of hair, and it looks good actually.
The food's cheap, but reasonable. It's good, and it's not expensive, right? It's good.
Yeah, he said that everything was super cheap, like the whole trip, hotel, massage therapist, everything.
Was he in Istanbul?
I think so. Yeah,
I would love to go.
And he even said like he had like a Russian 2-girl massage thing going on.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put you up like in a 5-star hotel with amazing food. They'll have like limo pick you up.
It's a beautiful area too.
Most people will stay only like 3 or 4 days, but if I'm going to Turkey, I'm going to stay at least a week. The first few days I'll stay to, hang out, look around.
You have to stay.
When are you going on?
After they do the implant, it's really sore for several days.
Yeah, they want you to stay, I think, 3 days.
You have to have some treatments after that.
Yeah, they want you to stay 3 days afterwards because they'll like lightly massage it for you because you're going to be bleeding a lot.
Yeah, you said your head is all completely swollen up for like.
Yeah, your head will get like all swollen.
I'll tell you a story I'll give you a bit of advice. So when I got my hair transplant, this is when I was in the midst of bodybuilding, right? I was my biggest. Right. So I go to the guy, they cut a strip of hair out of the back of your head. It's like they see the lawn, whatever they do, and he's like, all right. He gave me a couple prescriptions. One was for pain, which I didn't need. The other one was for was a pack of what is it called, prednisone pack for a week. Yeah. I said, you know me with the prednisone. I'm like fucking catabolic, can't take it. It's gonna ruin my bodybuilding, right?
That makes you crazy too. I
didn't take it, and after about 4 days, my face was this big. I look like the elephant man, okay? And it was so uncomfortable. I called him up and I told him, he's like, "Did you take the prednisone pack?" I said, "No, I didn't want to lose any muscle." He goes, "That's why I prescribed it so that your face can do that."
So when I went back for your ligaments and joints too, prednisone for everything.
Yeah, but what are you supposed to do, Dave? What was that? Was that
for a week? It wouldn't have been the end of the world. When I did the second treatment, when I went back again a year later, I did the prednisone pack. I got no swelling in my face whatsoever.
So you were in your 30s when you did it, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, probably about 33. Yeah.
When I went for consults here, they were all honest and told me like I would not do it in your 30s because you'll eventually want to do it in your 40s and you won't have enough donor hair. So
you know what it was? I had lost enough hair by then in the front. It was getting really thin. So I wanted to like thicken it up a little bit.
The guys watching this must be like, you fucking guys, Botox.
Listen, while we're on the
hair.
Guys, while we're on the topic, what do you think about finasteride?
Well, you can pull it off, Greg. Some people, I look weird with a shaved head. I don't look good at all.
Yeah, I do too. I look very weird.
Avash Terry?
Yeah, he wants a shout out.
You can pull it off, it's fine.
Avash what's going on? I hope it's his name.
What do you guys think about finasteride?
Did you guys know I was a Jew? I'm a Jew. Did you know that?
Dave's a Jew.
I don't like it.
Dave!
I know Dave likes it.
Who gives a shit? What is wrong with people?
I took it for 6 years, and yeah.
Go say that now outside Chicago. They freaking chase you.
All right. I want to bring up this story here that was in the news. There's this tennis player. Let me pull it up. Isner.
While we look for that, can we just say about Eugene, my boy Eugene? God bless you.
We're going to talk about him in a minute. We'll talk about Eugene in a minute. Let's talk about this case because top-ranked tennis player Isner tested positive twice for anabolic steroids in March. He will not be suspended after the International Tennis Integrity Agency on Tuesday determined that the banned substance entered his system unintentionally through a massage from his physiotherapist. Oh my God. he tested positive for clostrobol. Do you know what that is, guys?
You
Yeah,
said
it's
the
all
Turnaball,
steroids.
for the Turnaball and Dynaball kind of mix or whatever.
Yeah, well, they used clostrobol to make Turinabol, but yeah, the clostrobol is like it doesn't have a lot of anabolic properties. Supposedly, it doesn't aromatize, it doesn't convert to DHT. This stuff, and there he is, right there. That's the guy.
And it's a cream.
I guess it can be administered, subdermal or on the skin, but
Is it going to shut down his?
It would have been. You know what? He doesn't look like he's on steroids.
That's what I'm saying.
He looks like he's.
It's like how much advantage is it really giving them to whatever they take and chance it like that? You know, like what do you think about like Ryan Garcia, like the Austrian thing? Like that Austrian doesn't do anything at all.
Let's look at it from this perspective. First of all, he used clostrobol. Probably they're claiming that that he had a wound on him and that they sprayed some healing spray on it that had clostrobol in it. I don't believe it. Okay, I think they're full of shit. But they obviously use clostrobol because it's like a weird esoteric steroid that no one's heard of. So they probably thinking, no one will catch it, right? I'm sure that's why they did it. Okay, because you never test positive for the common stuff, right? Like Anavar or anything like that, because these guys know that that's a common steroid.
Right.
So someone probably told him, some idiot that in his camp probably said, "Oh, this is undetectable. I don't see any metabolites in any of the drug tests." And so they used it. All right. And then they have to, once they get caught, they got to make up an excuse now, right? Because it couldn't be that he intentionally did it, right? It has to. Look, I would do the same thing. You know, this guy has a lot of money on the line.
To me.
Right? Yeah,
You know what's funny? All the shit, you can give girls the babanya all you want. It's not going to change. Did you guys see Gabby Garcia? Do you know what I'm talking about? The jiu-jitsu champion? She's fucking huge. And she's on all kinds of shit. You can see she looks like Andre the Giant. You know what I mean? You know, seriously, go look at her face. She's fucking got. The other day, she was standing like face to face with Nate Diaz, and he started laughing. He's like, I can't. You know what I mean? But that bitch, she just, she's a great jiu-jitsu champion, undefeated. She fought a guy the other day and she lost. You know, and she was.
She did fight a guy.
She fought Paul. I think it's. Paul.
Why is she fighting guys? Just because she wants to?
It was a thing. They did a thing, and just to see. And the guy actually. That's a good. Wait, she looks good there.
Reminds me of Jim Carrey when he did.
Dude, I hate to tell you, that's 6'2". She would kick all her asses. That thing is,
I wouldn't.
She's jacked. But the thing is, she fought. You know, she's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu champion, right?
Yeah, this picture.
They had a guy. Look for the one with the. That's the guy that she fought. Now that's how it is. And that guy beat her. What I'm just saying is.
She's a real girl. She's a real girl, though. Yeah.
Genetic woman. But what I'm saying is all these people saying the man takes, if a man takes estrogen, it still doesn't change anything. Hormones,
no.
It's the skeleton. It doesn't. It's the whole bone structure, the bone density, the structure. Right. If you took the hottest tranny on the fucking planet, I mean, you would never know. And you fucking buried her body. And some archaeologist came up 1,000 years from now and dug that body up. They said, we found the skeleton of a man. Because you can't change that. You can't change the bone density, the structure of the skeleton. And that's also what helps men. The narrower hips, the whole bit.
Right, right.
You're right. But here's a girl who was gigundo and is a badass, undefeated, tough motherfucker. Again, Nate Diaz walked away from her the other day. He was like, You lost to that guy who's up to her fucking breasts. You know what I mean? That's how tall he is. So I'm just making a statement. All these people with this bullshit, you can't.
Greg, you sure this is not you? Hold on. Look at this picture I just found of this guy and the girl. Hold on.
Yes, now. Oh, Jesus. Let me see.
He's making out with her.
That's the guy he kissed. No, she got mad. Watch the video. There's a video of that. She got mad. She chased him after that, and then she hit the camera. She got mad.
That was awful. They were acting, but that's funny,
Well, they're friends, but she got really pissed off. Go watch the video. That's a great video. It's funny because he kissed her and he ran away, and she chased him, and she's like, I mean, it was like Lurch when you saw her chasing him.
Should have gave her a titty twister.
Wow. And I saw that shit running at me. I'm gonna get you. You know, I'd be like, ah! I take it to Silver Cross and shit.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch the UFC Izzy fight?
No, I didn't see it.
No.
But that girl's a monster in jiu-jitsu. She's undefeated. No girl can beat her. She's you know.
Was it a
What about,
submission?
does she fight UFC too? Open like stuff? Like regular UFC fights?
What about it?
Does she do regular UFC?
Yeah, she does full MMA. She'll not,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
she kicks and punches, but they did a jiu-jitsu match because that's her thing.
Did she tap
Yeah.
out?
I think she tapped out. I'm not sure, but I just know that he beat her. That's that guy right there that kissed her. But he's so small. He's so small. She towers over him. I might be able to catch you the video right now.
Well, imagine fighting Nicole Bass. Remember Nicole Bass back in the day?
Nicole Bass put me in a headlock and lifted me off the ground.
She's 6'2", and she was strong as hell too. You know,
strong, and she had. Oh yeah, man, she had fucking crazy strength. Nicole Bass.
Yes.
Oh my God, dude, she had me in a headlock. I was like, holy shit.
She was powerful. I saw her pick Troy Moore up over her head, like press him over her head. I thought he was going to die if she threw him. I said, Troy, if she throws you on the floor, you're dead. I said.
You know, she liked us little guys. She liked to fucking
dominate you.
Let's talk about Eugene Mission because obviously terrible what happened to him. Obviously, he passed away over the weekend. 48 years old. Good friend to the show. Good friend to all of us. Most of us, at least, who knew him. I knew Eugene since he came to this country and first started dating Lena. I did a very nice tribute to him on RxMuscle. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. And you know, we don't know what the cause of death was, but you know, his dad died at 50 from an embolism. And from what I understand, you know, he was in the house with Lena at the time that he passed, and he was like choking and he was like gasping for air, and then he just passed very quickly. Wow. So I'm wondering if it was an embolism too that he had that
like a heart attack. I think it was, right?
It was a heart attack. He had 3 stents put in about a year ago because he had a blockage in the coronary artery, but supposedly his heart was fine. So it could have been a clot that dislodged itself or something like that, and went to his lungs and killed him. You know, we don't know. I don't know if there's going to be an autopsy, but the cause of death has not been determined yet. It's just very sad.
God forbid they find a Schedule 1 drug in his system. They'll blame it on that.
Oh my God! Yeah, exactly.
He had
blame that.
Yeah.
He had gotten clean. He wasn't doing shit. I was just talking to him.
It looked like he was putting size back on again, though, the last few months, right? I saw a couple pictures. It looked like he was getting bigger again.
Yeah, he got a little bigger. Yeah. You can see him here. He's definitely bigger. He got that Humvee. You see that that's like the original military Humvee. He had bought one. He was redoing it, the whole thing.
He was. I know his mother and shit. He's such a good guy. His mother was so proud of him and everything. I know for the longest time he was trying to get his sister over here. You know, he's such a most people that don't know Eugene, us New York guys. He was so good, man. You have no idea.
That's what's sad about like the industry. Like, you know, people pass away so much, and then people, you know, make all these nasty videos attacking other people, and you know, it's like it used to be different. Everybody used to be a camaraderie. Used to be like more, you know, especially in the magazine days. Everybody was a lot closer. And then now everybody's attacking everybody, and it's just like
Munzer and Mohamed Benaziza, right? Those two guys were the big ones in the '90s that were in the prime. Mohamed died winning a show. I mean, he won the show and was sitting in a garbage bag just barfing.
You know what, though? Those guys used to really do a lot of diuretics back then. And it wasn't just those two guys, but people overdid the diuretics in the 90s. I will definitely say that.
Yeah.
And that got curtailed because people saw what happened when you overdo them, and people got scared after that. And then you don't see that anymore, which is good.
And I would have saved my life.
Isolated cases where people are overdoing it, but by and far, I think guys realize less is better with diuretics.
Well,
so,
you know, a lot of them still.
We learn from history, you know.
Andreas Munzer died from taking too much Cytodren, I heard.
Cytodren,
Yeah, I don't know. I think these guys were over dehydrated.
He had no cortisone in his body, I think. That's what I was.
Well, I mean, it probably didn't help. Yeah, it didn't help. But you know what? When you're also super, super dehydrated, your body can't like heal itself. It just doesn't work for it, right?
Well, I mean,
but,
they're doing aldactone 30 days out, then diazide, then injectable Lasix. It's just like, what is the reason for that? That's crazy.
Because they're not ready and they're trying to overcompensate.
Right. I know
these guys were actually ready, and some of these guys, the Munza guys, they just wanted to get so paper thin that it's amazing they kept their fullness with all the diuretics they would take, these guys, because they actually did have fullness too. I don't know how they did it, but
well, because they didn't have anti-estrogens back in the day.
Probably, yeah. Who knows? But they were doing a lot of crazy stuff, and
they didn't have anti-estrogens, so they took a lot of tests and everything, and so leading into the show, they were holding 20 pounds of water.
Right, yeah, maybe that's the case.
The diuretics flushed 20 pounds of water off of them, and then they were peeled.
Dude, who was it? I don't know.
Nowadays, people are already peeled, 2 weeks out, and then they're trying to throw diuretics on top of it.
When I did a show once at the last minute, like I decided the night before to do it, I wound up winning the show, but I dropped 25 pounds of water overnight. And when I started eating that night after the show was over, we went out and celebrated, my legs went dead. I couldn't feel my legs. And I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. And I got scared. I'm like, what the freak did I do to myself? I whacked my electrolytes so severely by taking out that much water out of my body, even though it looked good, that when I put the salt and water back, it took like an hour of me sitting there till it equilibrated itself. So I think when you take massive amounts of fluid or electrolytes out very quickly, that's when you can have problems. I think if you just take a little bit out or you do it gradually, I don't think the issue is as bad. But I think when you do it very, very drastically like that,
and when you do, the only solution is an IV bag. You need it at that point. You got to have an IV bag.
Right. You're right.
When the 26-year-old in his past, though, that was heavy diuretics, wasn't it? The 26-year-old Brazilian guy.
But I don't know what he was taking. I really don't. We would be talking about it.
We do know this. There's certain prep coaches that have been around for a long time, and they're still using the same damn protocols from 30 years ago. Yeah, and they're not changing.
You're right, Larry. You're right. Jimmy, we're wrapping the show up in 5 minutes. Give us your story.
What happened?
You're at the end of the show. I gotta go someplace. We gotta wrap up, and I know you have a great story to tell us.
Jesus Christ! You gotta be kidding me!
Here it is. Tell us.
Well, I called you the other day. I had to go to the hospital. I went over to a friend of mine's house. He says, "Come over." I had to help him with something in his apartment. So I said, "All right, I'll be over there in about 20 minutes." I fucking go over to the guy's house. I open up the gate. I'm gonna go to the second pair of gates where he lives. All of a sudden, this dog comes running down the stairs off the deck, a pit bull. I didn't know he had a pit bull. I knew he had a dog, but I didn't know it was a pit bull. So the thing comes running down the stairs, and he's barking, right? So I say, "Oh, all right, all dogs bark, right?" So I go to pet him. Hey, boy, and I said, "Holy shit, it was bit my fuck." Now he's fucking attacking me, the son of a bitch, right? He's coming after my legs. I'm kicking him with my foot. I'm trying to get the son of a bitch away from me. I back up to the gate. I open up the second gate. I'm kicking him. Now I'm hitting him with the fucking gate because the dog's trying to tear me apart. And I'm whacking him with the gate. I said, "I got to get it." This dog, I kicked him 5 times. He didn't want to stop. Finally, he lunges into the gate. And he grabs above my knee with his mouth, and he's trying to rag I'm going like this with my leg. So I ripped my leg out of his mouth, and I started whacking him with the gate again. He finally backed up, and I go down to my friend's apartment. I go, "Yo," I said, "Tell me this dog is over here." He goes, "Oh, I didn't know he was out." He was out. Look at my leg. It was bleeding and shit. I pulled my pants down. There was blood all over the place. I said, I gotta go to the doctor over here. I says, "The dog is he still out there?" He goes, "I don't know. Good luck." Good luck? That's what you tell me? I know you since kindergarten. Tell me good luck? I said, "I'm out of here, man." I went out there. I decided to see the dog. I went to the emergency room. The guy looks at my leg. He goes, "Yeah, you're going to need a tetanus shot." I says, "Really?"
Oh, shit.
I says, he goes, "When was the last time you had one?" This was like last week. My leg's still killing me. I said, "I don't know, 35 years ago." He goes, "No, you need a tetanus shot and antibiotics too." I said, "Antibiotics too?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You don't know that you're bleeding." He goes, "You got a wound." I said, "I know. That dog bit me." He goes, "I know." He goes, "What's the guy's name and his address?" I said, I got to give his name and address too." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "The dog bit you. We got to know who owned the dog, where it is." I said, "You gonna go get the son of a bitch?" He goes, "It's not up to me." He goes, "We gotta report it." I said,
Hold on. You got bit by a dog like a couple of years ago when you were delivering oil.
Yeah.
Earl.
Right.
Earl.
It was another.
Earl.
Yeah, I was delivering Earl,
You
and I got
your
another pit bull. Yeah, he got me. That guy attacked me, and I fell backwards because he lunged at me. This son of a bitch. So I caught him in the chest. He landed on. I thought he was gonna rip my face off. That dog, man. So I put my arm up because I was blocking my face because he was coming at me, and they got my arm, and he's ragging my arm with his mouth. I'm in the bushes on the ground. You know what I mean? I'm yelling. The guy comes out and he yells, "Caesar!" That was the dog's name. I remember. I'll never forget the name. You know, Caesar, get on. I'm like, yeah, get this fucking Caesar off me. I'm saying, get him off. Thank God I had a jacket, 4 sweaters on. You know what I mean? So the son of a bitch didn't get to my skin, but he ripped the shit out of my jacket. It just happened. I went on a show right after that. I had fucking leaves in my hair.
That jacket. Go get the jacket. Show us the jacket.
I don't have the jacket. I lost it. It was destroyed. It destroyed it. You know what I mean? So now here it is, years later, another dog attacks me. This time he ripped my leg open, man. Let me tell you, man, he almost took my kneecap off.
Let me see the leg. Show us the leg.
Well, it's healing now. I got to pull my pants down. I don't want to go pull my pants down.
Let's see. Show us the leg.
I'm not going to pull my pants down now. I'll show you later. I'll FaceTime you. You know, fucking unbelievable. Anyway, that's it. And then my arm swelled up from the tetanus shot. So I called it.
Oh, yeah.
I said, does your arm swell up from a tetanus shot? I said, I got this lump over here. He goes,
it hurts. It'll hurt for a few days. That's a
few days. It hurt for over a week. It hurt though. I couldn't even move my arm and shit. It was like it was killing me.
You should have said, can you put some testanaftate in there while you're at it? You might as well double up.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, I got a tetanus shot when I had so much shit in me, and I didn't even feel the fucking stuff because it was probably
because it's probably still in your arm. That's why, because it's with the oil that was in there. All the stuff.
You know, Greg, when the guy was going to give me the shot, he goes, you got tattoos. He goes, I guess you're not afraid of needles. I said, I wanted to tell him, you have no idea, buddy. I said, but go ahead. I said, whatever you got to do, you know. So he gives the shot in the arm. I didn't even know he did it. He pulled it out. He was like hitting me with the alcohol. I said, that was it? You did the shot? He goes, yeah, I did. I goes, I didn't feel shit. He goes, the more you're gonna. He goes, the more muscle you got. He goes, the more it's gonna hurt. I said, really? I said, I didn't feel anything, bro. 2 days later, man, I couldn't even. Arm swell. I'm in the shower looking at my arm. I'm like, what the fuck is that lump? It was a fucking huge lump sticking out the side of my arm. You know what I mean?
All I know is when these medical people give you a shot. You ever notice when they give you a shot? You can give yourself a shot. It doesn't hurt. It's like they're ramming a harpoon into you.
Yeah.
They always want you to lay down for like 10 or 15
me?
minutes afterwards too. Like,
you know what kills me the most, Dave? When they squeeze your skin, like I don't understand. Like when I used to do testosterone back in the day, I just would, I'd put it in the cheek, whatever. These guys, they pinch the skin out like for some reason, and then they shoot the needle right in where they squeezing the skin out. What the fuck is that?
But why do they have to put the needle's sharp? What do they need the force for? I
don't understand it. You know, when I used to get testosterone at my doctors over there, the nurse used to grab my cheek and squeeze the skin so it would like be sticking out like that, and then
they always do that. Yeah,
but what the hell is the purpose? I don't understand. It's gonna go in no matter what. What do you got to squeeze my skin?
Injecting fat people. That's why. Yeah.
Fat. I don't fat. I mean,
most of the population is fat, so they try to squeeze it up so they get the shot into the muscle.
Yeah, but this is intramuscular testosterone, right? So
I know. They're trying to squeeze the thing so they can get between the fat and get it into the muscle, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. That hurts like a son of a bitch when they squeeze your skin tight like that and then they harpoon it like that. Who the hell taught them how to give injections, those people? I mean, I told her last time I went there, I said, give me the dot, I'll do it myself. Give me the freaking thing, I'll do it myself. You ain't giving me a shot anymore. That's it, I'm done.
They did the same thing to me in Mexico. Armand saw it. The woman couldn't give me a shot, right?
Yeah, it's like this is gonna happen, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm a doctor. It's okay. You do your job."
She gave me the biggest hematoma of my life. She gave me.
Yeah,
and it hurt too when you put it in, right? You're like, "Oh,
yeah,
shit.
It hurt. Yeah, because I knew she hit something. I knew she hit something.
Did she pinch the skin up and then harpoon it?
No, she didn't pinch the skin, but she just didn't listen to where I told her to put it, and
I know, but the last time I went for a testosterone shot, I pulled my pants down, and she grabs my cheek. I'm like, oh no, man.
Maybe she was actually she might have been fondling you a little bit, especially,
She liked that ass, Jimmy. She wanted
Yeah.
ass.
She's like, drop your pants. I said, yeah, I know I got to drop my pants. What are you going to check me through the jeans? Of course I got to drop my pants.
He loves going there when they tell him that. You know, he likes.
Yeah,
the
that was like
attention.
that was the same office where the other chick came in when I was getting my prostate checked. And it was the same office. The girl, I'm bent over the table, and the doctor sticks his finger up there. I'm like, oh man, all of a sudden I get another one, right? I'm like, oh my god.
Greg's like, get me that number. I want to go there and get checked out too by there.
I turn around, it's a young girl. I said, you stuck your finger up my ass? She says, yeah. He goes, don't worry, she's all right. She's part of the team. I said, oh, she ain't part of my team. All right, buddy?
She is now.
yes, she is now. Yeah.
Hey, I got to wrap up, guys. Jimmy, I appreciate you coming in for the last 5 minutes. Wish you would have come earlier. We got a lot more to talk about, but I got to wrap this up. I got to go do some chores today. Guys, I want to thank you all for joining us live and chiming in. Once again, prayers, love out to Eugene Mission's family, friends, loved ones. We miss you, buddy. And
Lena. God bless Lena.
Yeah. I talk to Lena every day. The last couple of days, she's an amazing woman. So,
I love Lena.
Tell her I gave her my love, Dave. Tell Lena that
I
gave her my love.
I will. You should text her and tell her that. I'm sure she'd like to hear from you. So.
Yeah. I like Lena. All right,
guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back again next week. John Romanos should be back from his wherever he is, his pilgrimage to the pyramid.
Wait a minute. I'm kidding. That's John.
All right. We'll be back, like I said, Tuesday, Wednesday. I go to North Americans. I'll be there for almost a week, so that's going to be a big deal. I've been to Pittsburgh in quite a while, and we'll talk about that next week. For now, we're out of time. Talk to you next week.
Have a good day.